Okay, so today's truck talk is going to be short.
Put your seatbelt on.
Okay.
So we don't get yelled at for not having a seatbelt.
It's going to be short and sweet. We just had a little hammer in, right?
Oh my God.
With the Montana AFA.
No, it's Montana. MPAJ, Montana Professional Horseshoers Association.
That's what I just said.
No, you said Montana AFA. It's not that. MPAJ.
NPHA.
But
And
you guys are now members.
yeah, did you pay our dues? Is that
Yes.
Okay, that's what's up. So Diego is going to, because he talks mad shit about how people practice, including me, and her. We suck at practicing apparently. So Diego's going to give a little rundown about what good practice looks like. You got 5 minutes. Go. So we want to know what good practice looks like. Like, how do you practice?
Well, I think you gotta have a goal when you practice,
Okay.
right? It's called practicing for a reason. Otherwise, you're just noodling.
Noodling?
Yeah, what do they call it? Like doodling, diddling. Like just.
It is toasty.
What's the first? That's a first.
No, don't.
65
You
degrees
can't.
outside.
You cannot roll the window down.
What do you call like when you're? Well, we used to do that with guitar too. When I was playing guitar, people just sit down and just sit there, and they're not really practicing. It's not a like an engaged practice. They just sit there, just fiddling with their guitar.
So step one is have a goal in mind.
Correct. You gotta know what you're practicing. So when you turn on the forge and you're gonna practice, what are you practicing? Like, okay, I'm gonna practice clips. I'm gonna practice full up. I'm gonna practice making heel cocks. I'm gonna practice this, right? And then I think you should look at your practice like a workout set, like a workout program. Like you need to have a warm up, right? Like where you revisit some elements and stuff. You show up there, especially in the beginning, right? So I'm gonna practice. You guys are building shoes instead of just turn the forge and I'm gonna build a plane stem and the plane stem sucks. Okay, I'm gonna turn the forge on for the next 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna pull a few clips. I'm gonna punch a few nail holes. I'm gonna weld a rig, and then go build your plane stem. But there's no point in going build your plane stem if your clips suck or if your heels are bad. You're just wasting propane, bar stock, and time. You know, and then once you get those fundamentals down, then you can go. How many people you see they just build the same shoe over and over again and never gets better? You don't have to build 15 shoes, right? But you should focus, and then you don't have to sit down and practice. People have this misconception that the longer you do something, the harder you did. Like, well, you go to the gym a lot.
Yeah.
Like people sit there and they're like, I'm working out for 3 hours. Well, it's fucking stupid.
But they're on their phone half the time.
Yes, it's fucking stupid. You're in the gym for 3 hours. You didn't really work out for 3 hours. Versus you can go in and you can get a workout in 20-25 minutes and you get out.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to forge for. I mean, if you love forging and you want to forge for 5 hours because you enjoy doing it, is one thing. But you're not really practicing.
Yeah.
Right? You're just building shoes. It's not really practicing.
So practice the fundamentals.
Yes, like you gotta develop the skill, and then once you got all the elements down, then you do the whole like run on whatever, right? But like if you're practicing, let's say you're practicing fuller, and then you like run your fuller, like, oh, I don't like my fuller. Like, okay, why didn't I like? Why is it coming like this? And then you investigate, then you tune your fuller, then you try, right? Sometimes you can spend 30 minutes just fullering one branch.
Yeah.
And then you figure out how things work. To me, that's more productive than building now,
shitty
like,
pairs.
yeah, 5 pairs of 3/4 full shoes and then all your fuller lines suck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, like you just forge. I mean, inevitably you're gonna get better. It's just gonna take longer. Versus if you just sat down and okay, that's how I practice. Like I don't practice for a very long time.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't see it.
That's not good. So after practicing fundamentals, what's the next step in good practice?
After you practice the fundamentals, well, you gotta figure out what you're practicing for.
Yeah.
Now you practice for a contest, certification, day to day, what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a question.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Me personally? I mean, day to day and the certification.
Well, if you're practicing day to day, then you gotta criticize yourself day to day.
Yeah.
Right? You shoe a horse, and like, okay, what did I not like about this shoe job?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, what can I do better? Oh, I didn't like my nail line. I'm not punching very well. My heel fit's not good. Right? And then usually you're gonna have to go back to basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fitting, and then after have the basics pretty much figured out, and then you start practicing for things. And like, okay, I'm going to this contest. That's my shoe list, right? And then you can practice. Then you're not necessarily practicing the shoe, but you are, because the elements are already there. And you're practicing. Okay, can I make this shoe on time? All of that stuff. You know what I mean? Unless it's some shoe that has an element that you don't use it every day. You know, then you practice the specific thing for a while, do your research, like your R&D, and figure stuff out, and then you do your practice runs to make sure you can do it on time. But there's no point trying to do practice runs if you don't have elements figured out.
Yeah.
So you gotta know what you're practicing for. Like right now, I'm not practicing for a certification. I'm practicing just for day-to-day show. Okay, so I haven't been building any fancy shoes or therapeutic shoes or anything like that. Just I can see it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, fundamentals. Treat it like a workout. Warm up.
Yeah.
Cool down.
Well, right now you guys are gonna take your CF.
Yeah.
Like you're practicing for your CF. I get it. It's more fun to make handmaids.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But it's not the right way to do it. It's not what the test is.
Yeah.
So right now, what you should be doing is, okay, pre-shaping keg shoes, right? Getting keg shoes pre-shaped, fronts and backs, lefts and rights, right? Practice nailing shoes without clips.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you should be practicing. That's what the test is. And after you pass that, then, you know, getting ready for your journeyman, then it's handmaids. You can hand make shoes all day long. Like, you can still hand make shoes and you're still gonna be getting better, but you're not practicing for the test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could argue, say, okay, I'm practicing shaping shoes if I have handmade shoes. I'm pre-making my shoes and I'm using those as keg shoes and try to shape those on time. You could do that, but the feel of shaping a handmade and shaping a keg shoe is different. You know what I mean? You feel different. Pulling a clip on a keg shoe, pull a clip on a handmade shoe, even though the concept is the same, it feels different.
Yeah.
So if you're practicing for the test, then you should practice what the test. You should really know what the rules of the test are. You should know what the scores are. And I mean, you're playing a game. You gotta know the rules. So then you gotta practice that.
Mm-hmm.
After you cross that off your list, then you move on to the next thing. Right? But you have a goal. You have a direction.